do, no big deal. We pretend that once you're married, you're either happy or unhappy, a binary system, on or off. But the truth is so much murkier and also much more frightening and exciting and joyful than that. Marriage grinds your face into the dirt until you can see new colors and taste new flavors. But you have to show up and invite it all in. You can't hide. I recently watched Planet Earth 2 with my family, and the footage of various animals waiting not so patiently for their mates to return to the proper rendezvous point in order to make sweet marital bird love or regurgitate a fish smoothie into their throats was enough to send a chill down my spine. This penguin dad is seriously inept at scaling wave-tossed rocks and at locating his lady in a million-strong crowd of other penguin ladies screeching at the moon together, I found myself thinking. Does her screeching have the faintest hint of contempt to it, or am I just imagining that? Later, as a seabird's baby mama took her time showing up at their appointed meeting spot, I nervously wondered if she'd wandered off with a more dashing seabird and left her devoted mate in the dust. Okay, he did have a bad habit of pecking in a faintly insecure, unattractive way. You could see the enormous misunderstandings in play. You do know that I almost got pulverized against the rocks diving for these fish, the harried penguin seemed to say with his beady black eyes once he finally arrived. My younger daughter often proclaims that she will never get married, and why should she want to? As much as I prefer to believe that her father and I are setting a shining example of affectionate, radically open communication, the reality is that she's had a lifelong all-access pass to our version of a penguin marriage. The laborious diplomacy of marital negotiations, the low-key squabbling, the mutual suspensions of disbelief, the subtle undermining, the ever-increasing codependence. After 15 years of this graceless ballet, it's not surprising that all my daughter wants when she grows up is a tiny house, a subcompact car, and a mini Australian shepherd. And honestly, there are days when the prospect of growing old next to a mini Aussie doesn't sound so bad when compared to the slowly blossoming garden of horrors inherent to aging in sync with another human. My incredibly handsome and charming husband, who is a tenured professor and looks a solid 10 years younger than his numerical age, also has a quick temper, zero depth perception, and a palsy that makes his right hand shake whenever he passes me, say, a porcelain creamer filled to the brim with liquid nitrogen. Even though he and I might have engaged in countless frank and illuminative discussions of our flaws, even though we might have laughed several times about both his palsy and the remarkable ability of liquid nitrogen to cause a searing burn when it comes into contact with living tissue, that doesn't make the ensuing spillage and pain any less real. To be married is to have the words, "This is all your fault," eternally poised on the tip of your tongue. Marriage can feel like a moral litmus test that way. Your challenge is to maintain your composure as the staggering deficits of the highly ineffectual human by your side come into sharper and sharper focus. Somehow, you have to keep your sense of humor, which studies suggest is crucial to a healthy marriage, minimize your contempt, a major predictor of marital dissatisfaction, and increase your joint take-home pay, currently the most accurate predictor of how long a marriage will last, according to some studies. So maybe my daughter is onto something. In an upgradable, consumer-driven, instant gratification world where the experiences of shopping for high-end cell phones, high-end mates, and high-end sperm cells are hauntingly similar to each other, isn't it reasonable to question the value of a legal contract written in ink, on paper, that involves disastrously punitive terms of dissolution? What kind of an old-fashioned mutant could crave such a primitive trap? Particularly when it's paired with an enormously expensive ceremony that often